Hey there. Happy Friday. It's lunchtime at our place. I'm at Reactive West LA, and I get to add, I'm gonna try to add him on here. Amazing Mike Studer to our live today. And let's see, it looks like, wow,
Got him.
you are fast. You got right on. That's awesome. Mike.
How's it going?
Great, great. I was just kind of introducing you. I said the amazing Mike Stude, and there you were. You came up before I even got to say
Yeah,
um, and I'm just really, really happy to see you
you as well.
over the lunchtime here. And what I shared with people coming on live for today is that you were going to spill some secrets.
Yeah. So I come bearing gifts. So we'll, just for the holiday season, we're starting to, really finalize the plans for Neuropracticity 4.0. So some things have been revealed. Some things will remain wrapped in presents, right, at this point. We're really looking forward to a very interactive March 12th and 13th session on the soft skills, though, which and a lot of your followers know is very important to me and to our patients, right? So the ability to actually know how to find out the salient pieces about the individual in front of you, and to also learn how to integrate those things. And we call those the soft skills. So we're going to talk about that at 4.0. I've got a lot of things planned on advancing the dual task practice. So a lot of new information there. Julie, you and I have talked that we're going to really make certain that we get some great information out about how to work with the individuals that are cognitively impaired, to improve those that can be impaired, and to maximize our ability for those that do have fixed impairment. We've got more things than that, but what are your thoughts so far, Julie? What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, I think one of the things that really struck me in some of the conversations that we've had, and we've had the opportunity to also teach together the
Yes, very blessed. Yeah.
Bedbridge Course, which is phenomenal, by the way. When I watched the preview of that, I was like, wow, you did a good job.
That's great. Yeah,
It really came together. But
we
I,
did.
when we started conceiving 4.0, we were talking about things, the word fear came up.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. And I actually saw a post today, and I was kind of curious about your thoughts. It was from a mental health care professional, a social worker, who said, we're going to be working with people through the effects of the pandemic for the rest of their lives. And I think
Hmm.
fear has been one of those themes, and not only the pandemic, but I think maybe more,
Yeah.
um, obviously, like for very obvious reasons. And it's something that can be, when we're working with somebody and getting to know them and trying to incorporate ideas for treatment, is understanding that and helping them move through it or conquer it. Um,
Yeah. So that's one of the big things, and I'm glad that you brought this highlighted point up about neuropracticity 4.0, is in regard to fear. It really has a touch point for every type of patient that we get the opportunity to work with. You think about pain, magnified by fear. You think about dizziness, magnified by fear. Functional movement disorders, magnified by fear. Tone in my individual who's recovering from stroke, magnified by fear. And hey, tremor, magnified by fear. Risk of falling, magnified again. So absolutely, we want to try to see if we can not only connect those touch points that fear and its relative spokes go out to, but also see if we can learn how to control fear with our abilities to be able to have that psychological and personalized impact for our patients. And I think it's time for physical therapy to understand that aspect of the soft skills, which is going to be the biggest emphasis of 4.0, is that we don't want to pretend that we are another professional. We want to get help in from the multidisciplinary team, but we also want to be the most effective physical therapist and occupational therapist and speech language pathologist that we can possibly be. And so we have to do the same thing that we are with our patients, make certain that we are as well informed as we possibly can be about their conditions, just like we want to make certain that they are as well informed as they can be about their conditions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, I like that. And like you're right. It's totally universal. By the way, somebody already is sending a comment. Mike Studer is my PT. And it's amazing. Man knows how to help his patients recover. I'm a stroke survivor. Wow. Okay, so that was JP right there. Shouting you out in the midst of your live here, Mike.
Well, I'm going to give a shout out back to him because he's my original movement in the background guy. So I'm just shouting right back at him. So yes, yeah, yeah.
You know, I feel like this is a fourth iteration of neuroplasticity, right? So we've been through, I feel like we're on kind of a journey together with you.
For certain.
And the background has been something that you've brought to us from the beginning. I wonder for people who maybe don't know exactly what that means. I love this term. It's a trademark. Trademark, is that right?
It is, yeah, yeah.
If you can describe what that means and how it might help somebody like JP who's had a stroke unlock some of their potential.
Yeah, so thanks for asking about that. So movement in the background is this concept that we don't want to devote cognitive resources to things that should be automatized, right? We want the movement to be able to occur independently with autonomy and with its own, like we talk about, automaticity, right? So movement's never intended to be something that is organized by the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex and all of the attention centers. We want the movement to occur with natural, consistent, reliable movement happening from the basal ganglia, cerebellum, premotor cortex, etc. And we want those things to be able to occur without borrowing from our ability to appreciate the world, to recognize threats and dangers and changes to the world. And so whenever movement can occur in the background, the individual has a more healthy foreground, right? Frontal lobe. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that idea. And I know when you first introduced this and I read about it more, I was like, oh man, I have moved movement to the foreground for many a person by going, okay, let's like think about your hip here and your leg and, and that halfway worked, but just thinking about this concept, I will say after every neuroplasticity course, little tweaks in how I might do things, they take that person that much further, right?
Yeah, yeah. And it's supported by the literature, isn't it? Because even as you talk about that, you talk about cueing, being directed internally toward the person's body or externally toward the goal. And we find that absolutely as the most widely popularized motor control theory that's in practice right now is the optimal. And it says, hey, put movement in the background because we don't want people thinking about the knee joint, etc. So thanks for making that tie because you're exactly right. Yeah. And, that's that it is continual iteration and evolution in neuropractice. And that's why we call it neuropracticity for those that are maybe just joining us as well for this being their first introduction to it. We are honest and earnest about the fact that we're just excited about continuing to learn how to apply it better and better all the time.
Yeah. And that we do. And I love it. JP made another comment here. Be prepared to be asked to do some crazy things to get better. Now, I got to ask you this because you're sharing so many great little neuro nuggets and secrets already. What is one of those like crazy things that you have set up that that really either helped unlock that movement for the person or just gave them an experience that helped with their recovery? I know you have a lot of crazy things in there, but let's have.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what, and I'll draw from JP's experience just because it's right here in front of us. So JP was returning back to work after a massive number of thromboembolic showers that occurred in his brain. So multiple different infarct sites with stroke. And we needed to return this gentleman to a point where he could be an executive vice president, and needed to be able to supervise people, give speeches extemporaneously, etc. And so having this gentleman actually listen to me talk with him as though we were in a business meeting together, while he was actually walking through our clinic and negotiating things, dealing with his hemiplegia and putting it in the background so he could be attentive to me and actually be the professional business person engaged that he was. That's just one example right there. And I might even have him, pulling out a clipboard, sorting through note cards, thinking about putting paper clips and sorting his mental notes for his speech in his next meeting coming up. So we get crazy, we always keep it real, and we always keep it personal.
Yeah. So I love that. I mean, you shared three really big things. That was so, first of all, hello, JP. I feel like we just learned a lot about you because Mike knew that about you. And I know that's a part of the secrets of the soft skill is how do we do that and do that well and bring it right into our assessment and treatment, assess the right way and put it into treatment, which like, I also just got like several crazy ideas as you were saying that, which is why I love the course, because I think, honestly, for me in the pandemic, in like what's happening for me, like personally right now, we're going, we had a loss in our family. It's been a really tough time. I can feel kind of uncreative. I can feel a little stuck.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not alone there. Like we're all grieving a lot of losses in the pandemic. And that's one of the things that I appreciate about being with you, Mike, but also about this course is pushing a little bit to take the evidence and use it outside of a particular like protocol, but use it in a way.
Julian, this is another one of the reasons why the course has become what it's become. We bounce things off of one another. I'm actually spurred on by you and the rest of the individuals that attend to be that much more innovative. We create things actually in the course because of the individuals that you bring as persons and subjects of the course. And so I'm going to share with you two other things that come to mind just because of what you've said here. I never really actually follow too much TV, but I'm going to tell you, rather than winter is coming, we know this course is March 12th and 13th. I'm going to tell people spring is coming. With the season of life that you're going through right now, spring is coming, okay? And we're going to actually give people a re-energized engagement, not necessarily post-pandemic. We don't even know where we're going to be at that point, but we're going to go live. We're going to do it safely, and we're going to actually bring neuropracticity back live. That's one thing I want to say. And the other thing that I want to say right now is I'm watching the people that are kind of have joined the Instagram live here a little bit. I happen to know I've got a couple other persons that I've had a chance to work with that are patients of mine that have joined. And I'm going to share with you one more crazy idea because you asked. And so here comes one more. So I have a person that's actually online with us right now with young onset Parkinson disease. One of the most challenging freezing of gait cases that we've ever seen. This gentleman is intelligent, hardworking, life-loving, would fall upwards of 50 and more times per day due to freezing of gait. And he's actually online right now, and I know he's listening to this. So he would fall regularly because he would be in pedestrian traffic. And his mind would be occupied about fitting himself around the pedestrians that are around him. What do? We actually set up individuals in the clinic to walk at him as he was walking at us. And then, just like players on a football field, we would actually have a play pre-planned, whether we were going to cross over in front of him, pause in front of him. One of us would stop, one of us would accelerate, and so that we could actually overtrain him. Crazy ideas like that, that's what you can expect, certainly from this course as well.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And that is like, so needed in our day-to-day life, the unexpected. So I love that over training idea. So I know Mike, we're settled in. And by the way, JP said too, and I mean, this is why we are doing a course with you, Mike. He said we connected from day one. He knows me. He has been a great inspiration to me. He is a soft skill champion in this area. That's something, he also says spring means more golf. So mine is that. I love that. But this is something I admire so much and always learn so much from your time and observing it, whether it's a video, but we do it also live. We have people, last year, we had a therapist in the home in Texas with somebody.
That's right.
With you, right? And so we have people, I think this is the only course I know that does this type of mentoring. It's like, bring your people,
Yep.
some cases, let's do it together, let's practice it, to see it in action versus just theoretically reading.
Yeah.
It is, I mean, we know from a learning standpoint, that's the holy grail.
Yeah. And, the thing is to do it in a manner where it's not, I'm going to bring patients in that I know that I've already worked with and I know the solutions to actually watch it being done live and then to debrief about it immediately after to say, here's what I was thinking. This is why I chose that. We want to be able to learn the soft skill of clinical decision making because that can be one of the hardest skills for anyone to garner, is understanding what to decide when, and to always give yourself permission to know another choice could have been made. And here's why I chose that. And let's just interact and let's problem solve and figure that out so that we can make certain that that aspect of rehabilitation, that skill, can be applied.
Right, right. And I'm so glad you mentioned that, because that idea of the decision making, often we learn a framework, often we learn some skills, we might see them in action and we're excited and creative. And then it's like, what I hear from most people is like, where do I start? How do I begin? Where do I go next? And that's the decision making, right? And that's it's a hard part. And I don't think practicity has ever been like a simple course, right? These are challenging concepts and they bear repeating, which is why we're in 4.0, right?
Yeah.
Because that we are doing neuropracticity, right? We are
practicing. Gosh. And to bring it full circle, Julie, actually it's everything that we just talked about today. Think about what inhibits any of us as neuro practitioners from integrating a new skill. Fear. Mm-hmm. Am I going to get it done right? Am I doing this with integrity, with fidelity? Is this the way it's supposed to be done? I don't know that I fully understand this. And that brings it full circle with exactly what we've been talking about: soft skills, fear, how do I practice in neurologic rehabilitation? That's the whole package of what we're going to get and what we hope to provide. Again, we're going to step out beyond the fear boundaries, do that in front of everyone, and then actually subject ourselves to that collective, support, criticism, contrast, inquisition, etc., so that we can all learn. The only way we can all learn is if we break it down and be real about it and not just be pretentious about this is the only way to get it done. So we're going to break down that fear for therapists as well as for their ability to break down fear for their own patients.
We got super meta right there.
That is meta.
Fear for us, fear for our clients, like all the way around. And I think that's another secret of the soft skill, is understanding that even in ourselves, right? Yeah. And being aware and going in anyway. So I really, really love that. So Mike, I know we hopped on here to share some of your secrets, which you always share. Like, there is a secret like in every other word that comes out of your mouth. So there was probably 500 secrets that were spilled. But the course is Neuropracticity 4.0, the secrets to the soft skills. And it's March 12th and 13th. And just like we always do, we kind of do a holiday, like hence the hat. I wish I had my hat. Holiday sale on this, where it's literally $200 off for people through January 5th. So you could give yourself a little holiday gift. and get this opportunity. We are going to do it live online. We're going to be safe in this crazy time. But I know it's what I look forward to every year. This is like the key course that I go to. I'm just really thankful, Mike, that you are bringing it back and that we can share this with the world.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's gift giving time again. So here we go, Julie. You ready to wrap this up?
Yeah.
So the next 5 people that register for this course, the next 5 will get it not at $200, but they'll get it at $100. And those $500 come straight out of what I would have gotten for the course. So I'm gifting the next 5 people get it as half off. And so you guys keep track of who registers. The next 5, you get it half off directly on me.
Wow. Okay. So the next 5 people that sign up for the course as of this, like live, so it's the 17th of December, you're going to purchase it and we're going to actually refund you for half of the cost of it.
Yep.
And that's on Mike.
That's on me.
That's awesome. That's pretty enticing. So you better sign. Well, I know we just opened up the course yesterday and already had people sign up. So the next 5 people today, it's your
luck. It is.
That's awesome.
Excellent.
Awesome, Mike. Thank you so much. It's also just wonderful to see your face.
You as well.
We'll touch base again soon.
Sounds good. Happy holidays, all.
Happy holidays. Bye.
Bye-bye.